And I'm watching some of the fights. I'm like, you know what? I bet I could be on this. I bet I could be on this. I see a lot of Tiger Muay Thai guys on this for the MMA fights.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Hello, my name is Brett Pastore. I train here at Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket, Thailand. I'm a former school teacher, but I quit my job to come here and train full-time. I'm currently a 3-1 pro in MMA, 1-0 pro in Muay Thai. I've had around 80 amateur fights across different sports, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai and such. And yeah, my next fight is Saturday in the Eternal MMA promotion, fighting for the lightweight championship.
All right, talk about your life as a teacher.
Yeah, so life as a school teacher while I was a professional fighter was difficult. It was very, very difficult. School teachers in America work about 10, 12 hours a day, every day. We wake up, it's pitch dark out, you go to school, you work, you teach the kids, you have meetings all day, and by the time you leave, it's pitch dark out. And then you're driving to training. Sometimes I could get a quick nap in my car, but then I'd have a hard training session. I'd just be exhausted every single day. So life was very, very hard being a school teacher and a professional fighter. Had a lot of amateur fights as a school teacher, but as a professional I went 2-0, and I realized, you know, I wanted to step up, wanted to train more, and I decided to take the risk of a lifetime, fly across the world, bought a one-way ticket, and here I am.
What sparked the turn of events, so to say?
Yeah. So I knew I knew I was gonna be a full-time fighter. My whole life I knew this was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna take a long time to work up to that skill level, to work up to that level in my life. And it did take a long, long time. I'm 28 years old now, so I've been training for a very long time. I started wrestling when I was 5 years old. And I saw the UFC on TV one day, and they're shooting double legs, and they're doing a lot of the wrestling techniques that I was doing in youth wrestling practice as a kid. I'm like, I bet I'll do that one day. And here I am.
Your first fight, take us through that.
First ever pro fight?
Ever fight, just ever fight.
Okay, my first ever fight. I was in college. It was part of a boxing league. It was my first full contact real fight. And there's nothing like it. The, you know, the adrenaline and the, you land a punch on someone and the whole crowd goes, oh! You get hit and you get rocked a little bit and the whole crowd's going crazy. All eyes are on you. It was just so much fun. It was, you know, I was absolutely hooked because it was sparring, but the intensity was raised to another level. And the next weekend I fought again. Next weekend I fought again and again and again. I'm like, I'm gonna get as many fights as I can get because I love this and I just want to become as skilled as I can possibly become. And I know every fight I'm gonna get better, and that's the most important thing.
Describe the feeling of fighting, like if you can, in the best possible way.
Yeah, it's yeah, fighting is the most real thing on earth. It's the most real thing because, you know, everything else in society and life, it's kind of like I don't want to say fake, but it's kind of, you put on shells and you put on masks and you have to act a certain way and be a certain way. You fight and you get hit in the face, or you hit someone else in the face, that's real. And it doesn't really matter, like judges and belts and money and all this nonsense. That's not real, but what's real is you and another man, like exchanging punches in the middle of a ring. That's real, and there's a real feeling, there's like a sense of reality behind that. There's a sense of real meaning, like, my decisions have consequences. If I drop my hands and stick my chin up, I'm gonna get hit and it's gonna hurt. My actions actually have consequences right here and right now. And life is like, it's like a microcosm of life. It's like just super intense, boiled into just, you know, 15, 25 minutes of reality, if that's a good way to describe it.
Definitely, and why did you decide to turn pro? You had so many amateur fights, you know, how did you know?
Yeah, so every year I stayed amateur because I wanted to win the New York Golden Gloves. I thought maybe I could be an Olympic boxer. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, they can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was an amateur for a long, long time, Every year I did the New York Golden Gloves, and I thought maybe I can be in the Olympics one day. And every year I got, several times I got second place in the New York Golden Gloves, and I'm like, next year I'm gonna win it. Next year I'm gonna win it. And my coach was like, hey, you should start going pro, start making money from this. I'm like, one more chance at amateur. I really want to perfect my skills, you know. I want to be like the best in the world before I go pro. So I really wanted everything to be lined up perfect. And I finally did go pro after COVID. After COVID had shut down some of the amateur boxing tournaments. I realized, you know, I turned pro pretty late, but I want to make it a very, you know, purposeful career. I don't want to just take random fights. I want to build my way up the right way. So yeah.
And moving to Thailand, right? You know, why did you decide? Tell the story, you know, of how you got here.
Yeah, so a friend had suggested to me that I do the Tiger Muay Thai tryouts. I'm like, Muay Thai, I'm not a great Muay Thai fighter. My plan's to be an MMA fighter. And I found out Tiger Muay Thai is actually, it's also an MMA gym. I didn't even know that. But I saw some of the documentary on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? I bet I'm gonna try that. So I applied on the online. And then I started watching One Championship that kicked off this year in Lumpinee Stadium. And I'm watching some of the fights. I'm like, you know what? I bet I could be on this. I bet I could be on this. I see a lot of Tiger Muay Thai guys on this for the MMA fights. I bet I could be one of those guys. And, you know, they accepted my application. I came here for the tryouts. Shortly after the tryouts, maybe like a week or two later, I was fighting in One Championship. And, yeah, dream come true. Best decision I ever made, coming here.
How was it fighting for One Championship in Lumpinee Stadium?
Yeah, that's a dream come true, because as a kid, I'd watch Muay Thai fights in Lumpinee forever. Never dreamed I'd be at a Muay Thai level where I could fight there, but they started doing MMA fights there. That's like dream come true. Real cool. It's real like quiet arena, but once you land a strike, everyone's like, oi, oi, and it just feels so good being in there, being in that ring. That was, you know, two of the most fun fights I've had in my life.
And training out here, like what's the difference?
Difference is I get to train full time, but there's a lot of other differences. There's a lot of good coaches, a lot of different styles. Every day I train with people from all these different countries, from Russia, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, all these different styles and influences. Also the humidity. The first week I was here, the humidity was so much. I'm just like hitting the bag like I normally do. I'm like, wow, why am I so tired? I'm not used to this feeling, this humidity. So the physical environment's more challenging, but also the training partners are more diverse. And the languages, you walk around, you're speaking 5. I make a joke, I'm learning 10 different martial arts, and I'm learning 5 different languages at the same time. It's a really interesting cultural and training experience here.
Yeah, and you know, speak about, you know, the leveling up that you've done so far being out here.
Yeah, I've learned so much in every single area of the game. My boxing, my kickboxing, my wrestling, my specific MMA skills. There's so much that's improved in such a short span, especially being able to train multiple times a day. Sometimes I train too many times, and the coaches are like, hey, you can't be training 5 times a day, you gotta slow it down. Just training all day and really committing myself and learning from all these different diverse training partners and diverse coaches. So much new information in my brain, and I'm, you know, learning so much. It's like going from high school to college, you know, going from your local gym where you're training with people from the same country to just all these new experiences flooding in. So it's really been an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's like going from high school to the league or something.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's straight crazy, right?
Yeah.
Now, with the talk about going through the tryouts and all of that stuff and that experience, it must have changed you in some ways.
Yeah, tryouts might have been the best week of my life. Just for the first time in my life, I'd just meet 40 other people, all have the same dream as me, all from different countries, all these different languages, and you're just you're making all these friends for life. And they're still my training partners today, and everyone has their different stories, and every session at the tryouts was really challenging. The big Buddha run, the mitts that hit back with the Muay Thai cruise, just a lot of different sessions, and each one of them was so like memorable. And also that was like my first full week in Thailand, so that was my first time training just completely differently. That was like just being thrown into the fire, thrown into the deep end of a pool, and being like, you got to swim. Here you go. Yeah, super challenging. I remember that wrestling practice we had was one of the hardest practices ever. We just had scramble after scramble. We're constantly fighting for every takedown, every point. That was so much fun and such a great experience to get thrown in here like that.
Definitely. And you know, you've come out here, you went through the tryouts, and then you pretty much hit the ground running, man. You fought how many times in like very short period of time? How many times have you fought so far? And you got a fight coming up
Yeah.
on Saturday.
So the week after the tryouts, 1 week later, I fought in Patong Stadium. I fought for the championship Muay Thai. That was my first pro Muay Thai fight, and I won, became stadium champion there. The week after that, yeah, that was 9 days later, I fought in one championship. Took a short notice fight, made my one championship debut, won that. And then I did, I think, a grappling tournament in Phuket. And then shortly after that, I had another fight in one championship. And now I'm fighting in now I'm fighting in Australia next for the Eternal MMA title. So I've been pretty active since the tryouts.
So what's the plan for the next year or so?
Yeah, so I can't stay in Thailand just because visa. Next year I'm gonna come back, do the tryouts again. Hopefully they have the tryouts. Next year do a 1 year visa so I can stay a little bit longer. I'm gonna spend the next 6 months or so in a famous camp in America, training, to return to Thailand, to return to one championship, and take some fights back in America and build my record up, come back even stronger.